Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. Well, I'm tripping. This random. This episode don't have a title. We just this a lot of randomness for today. We doing our recap, our practice recaps for just to see what we see to get our normal people of what they give us on Twitter, and actually gonna bring a special guest in a little bit. And again, our camp notes is what we've been calling them. And I didn't do it yesterday because I didn't get a lot of information. I probably could have gave you about a 2 or 3 minute video, maybe even some shorts, but I just decided just not to do anything and kind of double it up today because I knew I'd be bringing somebody on with me to talk for a minute. So what I'm going to do real quick is not to waste y'all time because I know everybody got to get ready, myself included, for this fight tonight. Um, I'll get right into it. Talking about yesterday. Not a lot going on really. The main thing yesterday was the press conferences, and I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to watch the press conferences because they were not on YouTube. I was able to watch them because they were on the Ravens app, and I did see some reporters reporting what was said, but I was able to watch the press conferences because they were on the Ravens app. My intent was to actually put them out there for you guys to see them and put like some kind of music in the background so it wouldn't get copyrighted or whatnot. But I had some work to do today, so I didn't get a chance to do that. So, and by the time I would get a chance to do it, whatever they had to say would be irrelevant. So I'm just going to really kind of talk about what Todd Munkin said briefly, and talk about what Mike McDonald said extremely briefly, and then we can get into today. Yes, the Ravens do have an app. The Ravens do have. Where my phone at? Wherever I don't know my phone at. I would show you, but I don't know my phone at. But the Ravens do have an app. I got it on my. Oh, there's my phone right there. It's on my TV and on my phone. Let me see if I can show you real quick. If you can see that, that's the Ravens app. That's the front page of it right now. I think who is that on the front page? That's Zay Flowers. Yeah, Zay Flowers. That's the Ravens app. But go download it, and that's why how I was able to watch the press conference. But let's get into it real quick. Munkin, the main thing Munkin was they asked him about the wristbands. That was the topic of today and whatnot. So let's get into it. He talked about how wristbands are easy, and being a guy that was forced to use them last year on a much lower level, they are easy if the people know what they're doing when they hear the play call. It's not easy when you got to put multiple things on a wristband for a play, which is kind of what happened to us because we had kids move and whatnot. So, and some people, it was a cluster. But anyway, I like the fact that he's like putting the play call in his ear because you see him walking around with the walkie talkie. So they basically got, the mic in not the mic, the headphones in his ear. And then he's making them call it. Then he has to say it to the team. Then he has to get to the line with about 10 to 15 seconds, see what's out there, assess it, then make a check if need be. Now, if he can't grasp it by the time week one comes, which I'm sure he can, I'm not throwing no bad juju out there, but if he can't grasp it by the time week one comes, or there are some concepts that he can't grasp or can't pick up, then you can always go back to it and just enhance, it'll come to him. But making him learn it without it, and then using the wristband if need be as a backup, but basically taking that wristband as a crutch. That's all that is. It's a crutch, and you taking the crutch away and making him learn the verbiage, the terminology, and all the things that need to be done to lead his offense. And not only to lead his offense, but to shake that stigma out there that he can't do it. To shake that stigma that he can't do it. And we all know he can. We just got, how they treat our quarterback. He gets unfairly criticized about in and everything because of his hair, the way he looks, the way he talks. It is what it is. But again, the big thing yesterday was the wristbands. And when talking about Munkin on the other side, he's putting people in position to make plays. And Zay said it the other day, all the receivers are learning all the spots. So when he find a mismatch, he can use it. He can use it. And what I get from Monken is he's a no nonsense, no excuse guy. If you're not where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, he's gonna call you out on it. If you're not where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, he's gonna call you out on it. And that's what I like about him. But another thing I heard about him, he's also a great teacher. And that's what you got to do. And a lot of, I tell you, the best coaches, the fans never see their good coaching. Never. You can go to every practice. If every practice was available for fans, if you go to every practice, and you won't see the best coach job. The best coaching is done in that classroom. Explaining the concepts, helping the players understand the why. Because this day and age, everybody wants why. I know when I was coming up, and maybe people older, you just did what you was told and you really didn't ask. But now these kids got to understand why. And if you could teach them the why, they'll pick up the how to. And then you roll it. And then you roll it. So long as you can show them the why and let them know like how it works and why you're doing this, or this is the first step in the progression to the second step, then they'll get on board with you. But if you just expecting them to say, well, man, if you just expecting to go out there and say, hey, run this at 12 and come back, and they ask you why, and you can't tell them why, they're gonna tune you out right then. It ain't gonna be too much more, because kids they crafty now. They crafty. And when I say kids, I'm talking about these young adults that's playing football. They crafty. They know when somebody's trying to get over on them and BS them. They already know. All right, defensive side. Lots sparked on Kyle Hamilton and how they're gonna use him, and it's really interesting to see how they're gonna use him, because he was great as a slot corner, but now he's moved back to safety. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Mike decides to implement Kyle this season. So we'll see. But I really, my first 10 minutes is out the way. I'm gonna bring in my guests, and people my age remember this commercial where it says membership has its privileges. So this guy is the only family member Patreon that we have. And so part of the perks to be a family member on Patreon, you get to come on the show. So Brandon also, I just told you who it was. Brandon also I gave him tickets to today's open practice. I was able to secure tickets when they came out because, I was at my computer when they came out. So I got some, and I knew I couldn't go. So Brandon got them. I also gave a pair away to another one of my followers, C Iron Addict. I hope he was able to go. I don't see him in here in the chat box, but I hope he was able to go. And so Brandon is going to come in and he's going to report to us. And we're going to have a little conversation about what he saw at the open practice. And also, if you don't know, Brandon has a YouTube channel. He just recently started it. Him and Big Reg the ops, Big Reg. He and Ghost himself. Big Reg, they kind of get together and talk a little football, but I'm going to bring them in and we're going to talk about this open practice.
What's up,
What's good, B?
Man, I had fun out there. It was hotter than fish. We made it through.
Man, it don't get hot up there. I mean, y'all Northerners, man, y'all ain't hot. Y'all ain't dealing with no humidity. I was talking to somebody via Twitter, and he was talking about how hot it was, and he was like heat index, and it was like 89 or 91. I'm like, man, that ain't hot. We did 93 to 94 every day in the summer for football practice, and with the humidity. He was like, but you stopped though, didn't it? I say, well, I was thinking to myself, I mean, if I wanted to be out there, I'd be out there right now. I ain't stopped because of the heat. The heat ain't bother me. He just was out there melting, that's all. But again, I know I saw a lot of people taking that program that they gave y'all and wrapping it up like fans. So I know. So other than the heat, how was it?
Oh, it was pretty good. Saw some strange things as far as people in weird positions, but
We'll get to that.
They had Vontae Leach there. They had LRB there also.
Speaking of Vontae Leach, man, they interviewed Vontae Leach on the YouTube stream, because I was watching the YouTube stream. I had to turn the volume down. I'm so tired of hearing him talk about fullbacks. Well, we don't care about fullbacks no more. Fullbacks a thing of the past, and we still got 2. It might be 8 fullbacks in the league, and we got 25% of them, which is crazy.
Terrible.
But let's start on the offensive side of the ball. No, let's start on. I'm gonna say the offense because everybody like offense. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball. What stood out to you defensively from today?
So Marlowe's on his side, Rocky Sin's on his side,
Mm-hmm.
but Stevens is playing the slot, and Mr. 14 is over top of the tight end.
So he's So what I was expecting, Kyle is probably going to play the role of strong safety, and Marcus is going to be the free guy. So everybody that's I know it's early, but everybody that's worried about the deep prowess of Kyle Hamilton, cool your jets. But go ahead, B.
I mean, that kind of got me. They didn't let the defensive lineman do too much, but I think overall in their individual drills,
Mm-hmm.
they actually moved. Like they weren't slow. They actually made them follow through on their drills. They're
Mm-hmm.
hitting the dummy around so hard that the two coaches had to keep propping the dummy up before the next guy came down the line. So they try to prop the dummy up and get out of the way before they get crushed with the dummy.
Got it. Who started up there besides Matabike?
They didn't really. They had like a weird rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, Travis Jones and Matabike were in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they changed out like almost every single play. There wasn't like a set schedule. I could be like on most downs, it was these guys because they would change an end or two on this play, one or two defensive tackles on this play. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
The linebackers were the linebackers. So for the
So,
most part, those
so
guys that made on the field. But it
did it
was
seem
actually
like they were trying to keep him fresh in that
right.
heat?
0-0 were on the outside. So 0-0
Oh,
on that.
oh, and oh.
Yeah.
The O's.
Unfortunately, they put one O stats up and it said 11 QB hits, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles for the season. I just put my head down.
We're not gonna go there today. We're gonna stay for the most part. We're gonna stay positive. We're gonna stay positive. Did you see Jalen Armour Davis and Caillou Blue Kelly? How they look?
I mean, Lamar actually for some reason seemed to be going at the top 2 corners most of the day. So I mean, most of the time you could tell where the ball was going, and it was going to the outsides or it was going to Andrews. I mean, on the few plays that they were in, they weren't targeted. I believe Geno Stone had a pass breakup near like the 20 when they were doing situational.
Oh,
But
versus Prochet. Mm-hmm. Or was that Steve? No, that was Stevens had one on Prochet. I think that was Stevens had one on Prochet.
yeah, Prochet had a nice little box out contested catch in the red zone also.
Yeah, they were killing my man on the Raven stream. He like the pass break. No, the one he dove for, and then the pass breakup. They was killing my. They was killing my man. Like man couldn't do nothing. I'm like, y'all screaming for Tyler Wallace and Duvernay, but them cats ain't on the field. Prochet is.
Right. I didn't see much of them. I actually saw Prochet was actually the one who was across from Odell. So I guess they're trying to get a good look at him.
I'm assuming that Prochet is probably Zay's backup. So that's what I'm assuming. Since Zay was out with the illness, that's probably why he got the spin like that. Because I'd be willing to bet that he ain't running with the room. He's only running with the ones because Zay was hurt. And but it's rather him than out there than the people that they clamoring for. They clamoring for Wallace. They clamoring for Duvernay. I ain't see their numbers out there. I saw 10, so y'all can't tell me nothing until I see another practice. So, as far as I'm concerned, 10 ahead of 17 and 13 right now. So, whatever y'all got to say, I ain't trying to hit.
Zay must have been sick because he was out there in a full black jacket and black pants. The woman behind me was like, "Is he gonna die of heat stroke? Why is he out there in a full tracksuit
and a backpack?"
Right. I was looking at him like, "Oh, okay. So you different."
He's crazy. He must be sick for real. But if no, he couldn't be sick for real because they wouldn't let him come. If he was like for real sick, so it got to be something. Probably ate something bad stomach or something like that.
Yeah, he was on the field before warmups, but once warmups started, he went back, back inside.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even see him on the sideline while they were doing the practice, but I mean, they were doing stuff everywhere. In one corner of the end zone, they were doing the running back drill where they set the 9 trash cans and the coach jumps to one side or the other.
Mm-hmm.
On the goal line, the QBs were doing their warm-ups at about the 20-yard line. You had your boy Jordan Stout. Well, he was at about the 35, kicking punts almost to the end zone.
He's booming them things.
he was floating them.
Technically, that ain't my boy. That's Hendo boy.
Nah,
That's Hendo guy.
oh Lord, he's trying to get him started.
He ain't around right now. He ain't around. He,
He,
he ain't
he
here to defend himself.
he was booming them. Tucker was kicking field goals from the other 45 into the goalpost. He missed a couple of them, but his legs where his leg needs to be.
Got it.
He was just
How did the O's look?
Ojabo and Owe.
Yeah, how did they look?
It's more than a couple times Stanley had to grab Owe. He got some speed on him, so I was a little worried about that.
But
Owe kind of was about to turn the corner, and Stanley grabbed him, but the refs didn't call it.
right. The thing is,
Ojabo,
what people didn't realize is they was talking about the O line, the O line, the O line. Man, the defense don't supposed to, like, nice cook. The defense don't supposed to be going hard like that without pads. But what happened was, and this is what people don't realize, they in that stadium, they know people out there. They want to, show they shiny new pass rush moves. Ain't no pads on. They out there in shorts and t-shirt, just helmets. So I mean, they bull rushing and doing things with, they really can't. Because if the O line fight back and somebody get hurt, then the whole team lose. So it's best just to get them go and do what they're gonna do, and just let them just stay off the quarterback. Because if the O line fights back and they go to torquing and turning, and somebody turn a knee or get hurt, now the whole team lose. So I don't know why they was out there showing out like they not. Bro, it's practice. They out there making the O line look bad.
Ojabo was playing it cool. Like he didn't do too much. When I saw Owe do that, I was like, bro, are you trying to? If you fall and hit Lamar, this whole stadium is going to jump your ass.
What?
You're not left.
The whole city.
No, everybody in the stadium was going to get. There wasn't going to be nothing left for him. He wasn't making it out that stadium. There was not enough protection on site. I didn't see no Baltimore County police, not even in the parking lot.
Oh no, they was going to be helping too. They know what the deal is. As long as 8 there, they working. So they probably was going to help too. Let's switch on over to the offensive side since we didn't kind of venture that way anyway. Let's start with the left guard position. Like I think when we text while it was going on, Saleh got most of the first team reps. That's number 71. That's what that was. But the few reps that I was able to see on YouTube, even though Saleh was in there, and again the defensive line was tripping, or maybe our defensive line is good, but it don't look like he's strong enough to hold that fort yet.
Yeah, they had him in there a couple times. He got it set properly.
Mm-hmm.
But there was times where I was looking at him like, even if Ben Cleveland can't move, he can at least stop a bull rush.
Right.
He can at least stop the bull rush. And I mean, Simpson doesn't look too much bigger than Linderbaum. So
yeah, I saw him walk past the screen and I was like, that's the right guard job. Okay. We know what Linderbaum spent a lot of his time in 7-on-7, so he ain't do a lot of the drills because he was snapping 7-on-7. We know Zeitler's solid. We know Ryan is solid. Moses, we know what we're gonna get out of Moses. It's gonna be up and down with Moses. So let's jump on over to wide receivers. From what I saw, and you can tell me what you saw too. Odell looked crisp, looked like he was able to go in and out of breaks. A couple passes, like anything that gets close to his fingers, look like he still got the stickums. So, who else looked good receiver wise to me? I think that's about it. That looked like good. What about yourself? Because we didn't get to see a lot of plays either. They started showing the people in the booth.
Oh yeah, Odell. He was doing his route, and you could tell he's confident what he's doing because even after he did his route, on his trot back, he he kind of redid it again on the way back to kind of solidify his technique. But he was dropping and coming back just as fast as anybody else. I mean, you couldn't tell that he had been hurt in the last 2 years, if at all. And even Duvernay and Prochet, like all of our guys, look much more fit than they have the years before.
Yeah, like I text you, the ops out of there.
Yeah, they looked a lot better now than they did before. When I saw them, I was like, that's a football player. Because some of our guys, our receivers look like, the shooting guards in the NBA.
What else you got?
Well, Snoop's arm I guess they must be working him out, or he must have practiced because instead of them, wobbly, it's gonna get there. He was throwing them. Like
Mm-hmm.
he actually looked like he could put some muscle behind the ball. I guess I think made that Pro Bowl. He saw the other guys whipping the ball around. He said, "Nah, I mean,
Oh,
nah, this ain't gonna work."
Snoop looked so bad in that skills challenge, didn't he? For the Pro Bowl. I forgot about that. Hey, my man got out there in the skills challenge and was like, "Hold on, I ain't as good as these dudes. I need to go work on my game. I'm in the Pro Bowl, but I got here by default. I was supposed to be here."
I will say, with Monken's offense, people were so like had so much actual room compared to they've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
The few clips I showed you, I knew where the ball was going because you could see the separation of players across the field. Like you would just be like, that part is just wide open. He has to go there, and that's where the ball went. There's clearing away room for these guys to do what they got to do.
So it ain't three wide receivers in a 5 yard space.
And their goal line situation, the outside receiver to Lamar's right actually stopped at the 2 yard line and cut in across the goal line, while Andrews was actually doing his corner post fade.
To give him room in the back of the end zone.
Lamar threw
Yeah,
it right over the other guy and right underneath the safety.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Lamar
that.
Lamar was killing them today. I mean, I know our defense is good, but Lamar's Lamar. He showed it today. Like this.
Yeah, you could at some people couldn't tell the difference between Snoop and Lamar out there, and they were like Lamar's looking bad, and why is he not trying? And he looking lethargic. I'm like, and people were telling him because I got tired. I was like, that's not Lamar, that was Snoop. And then Brown come in, and Brown made a few decent throws, but you can tell the zip on the ball when Lamar threw it, as to opposed to anybody else that picked up a ball. His zip he had a lot more on the ball than other people. Not very many floaters. The ball he threw to Mark that Kyle Hamilton probably would have KO'd Mark, but that ball had some fire on it. That ball had some real fire on it. It hit Mark in stride. And I'm sure Mark probably would have held on to it, but we don't have another quarterback that can fit balls in the windows like that. And if he gonna fit balls in windows like that from that angle, we looking at a special situation. What else you got for us?
Yeah, on some snaps, a few snaps, they have Falele and Simpson on the right side, and even though Falele is bigger than the guard, which is weird,
Parlay is a mountain.
right? Which is weird because I had to wait for the play to be over so I could see who was next to him because I mean, I couldn't tell who was. I couldn't see a number. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't see if he was black or white or Spanish. Like I just knew it's supposed to be a guy to the inside of Falele. Where is he? So when they went back to the huddle, I caught his number and I was like, oh, okay. But I mean, they look pretty solid on the right side. I
Then
wasn't paying attention to
I saw
who was rushing, but yeah.
I saw Cleveland was backing up Zeitler. I think that's camouflage, man. Everybody's talking about Salah. And then when you do see Cleveland, you see him in different spots. I just think it's all camouflage. I'm still going to say Cleveland is that left guard. I think they're just camouflaging it because they have to, or they want to, or that we still in this zigzag game that we feel like we got to play. But I, if Salah wins it, fine. Cleveland. If Cleveland don't win, they need to cut him. Don't ain't no use of holding him around. If he don't win the job, get him up out of there. Because
So
he had 2 chances to take this job, solidified, and that be like, this is my spot, nobody getting it, and he ain't doing that. So he need to go chase some squirrels or something.
if Salah doesn't muscle up and they put him over there with Linderbaum, a DJ Reader is going to kill that whole side of the line by himself. He's going to collapse the whole interior left side of the line by himself.
And people don't realize how strong and how good DJ Reader is. I give DJ Reader praises all the time, and I ain't gonna be like the fan that thinks every other team sucks. Like there are other good teams out there, other good players out there. and Reader is pretty darn good. If Reader is in the game, their defense is totally different. If Reader's out the game, you can pretty much do what you want to their defense. So go ahead, B.
But my still pick for left guard and right guard. Put Lele and Ben Cleveland big cells up there and just run it up the middle. You can Jalen Hurts it all day.
What about Zyla? Zyla ain't did nothing to come out of that though. Zyla been solid.
Zyla's still 375 pounds, 6'12".
Yeah, Lele is. You know what? Since get Ricard out of there and put Lele at fullback.
He gonna hurt the right guard and the defensive tackle.
All right, so be it. As long as we get them 2 yards. If I'm not mistaken, Minnesota handed the ball off to Lele.
I think they did a couple times.
If I'm not mistaken, they handed the ball off to Lele. So
now you know
trying to tackle that cat.
Baltimore drafted him because they said we see Ricard 2.5.
The third fullback. 10 fullbacks in the league, and we got 3 of them. That's crazy. Any more know what you got from the open practice?
It wasn't too much more than that. Outside of they definitely are fitting players here and there. For some reason, I saw Marlette, but I didn't see him on the field too much. Not playing too much slot corner, like
maybe who they had out there? Stevens.
Yeah, they had Stevens. I don't know why. Maybe they feel they're still working on Marlette. They don't. I guess putting him in a situation like this, if he messes up, you kind of expose him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I said the same thing about Makai Polk too, because Makai Polk didn't get much burn, but then again, I remember he just got there, so he probably don't. And he just got there, and it's a different offense from when he was there last year. So they probably did the same thing with him. I didn't see him like get any kind of rep, like a 7-on-7 or a team rep or anything. But again, they were cutting in and out from us with some nonsense in the booth.
Yeah, Treadwell did get some work though.
Treadwell was he 5?
I thought he was 17.
Hold on.
There was Treadwell and Black were in the game prior to you.
Black was 81. Treadwell is 5. Yeah, Treadwell is 5.
Sorry, Johnson 17. I think Johnson was the only other QB with the white sleeves on.
Okay. Yeah, Johnson is 17. Josh Johnson. So Treadwell is 5. I did see a nice catch by Bridges, I think. Like a little back shoulder catch, I think.
Yeah, Prochet had some jet sweeps.
I saw that. That's malarkey.
Yeah,
why you gonna have the slowest dude in Baltimore running jet sweeps?
Yeah, I thought that was entirely too weird. I was like, he's running a jet sweep.
Again, that lets you know he's just subbing for Zay. That's all that lets you know. They just want to keep the script the same and let Prochet run the jet sweep, because that's probably what Zay gonna be doing. Because if Prochet run a jet sweep, cows can fly.
I mean, it should have at least had Dube do it.
I'm telling y'all, man, y'all sleeping. Dube ain't see the field. My boy did. So until the next practice, which is Monday, I don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say about Prochet. Prochet got reps in front of everybody, and it's documented. Duvernay was over there with the Gatorade.
Oh yeah, they gave Duve a great look. Prochet a great look the whole entire practice. Like when I saw him out there, I was like, okay, so they really trying to see what he can do in this system before they make any decisions.
Yeah, and even though I'm gonna say he probably got them reps because Flowers was sick or whatever, but this gonna be strike 3 for him. It's gonna be do it or you gone. You got a system close to what you did in college. Better make the most out of it, because you're already not gonna get a lot of reps, honestly. Because you look at what a first round pick in Bateman, first round pick in Zay, first round pick in Odell. I don't know if Aguilar was a first round pick, but he definitely a veteran. That's 4 guys right there. It's 4, so ain't much room. We only keeping 6. Better figure it out. So
what you may say before I let you go?
Was who now?
What did May say before I let you go?
Tell him. I don't know that one. Tell him.
Hey, Frankie Beverly and Mays who sung the song before I let
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
yeah. I didn't know you said Maze. I thought you said somebody else. Oh yeah, I know that. Hey, I use that. That song triggers me. You hear that? Come on, it's time to clean up. It's time to, you either a cookout or it's time to clean up.
I remember them mornings. You hear the music when you peek your eye. Like, oh
Yeah.
Lord, let me clean this room before she even come in here.
Yep. As soon as you hear it, you just roll over and like, all right, I'm gonna start doing something. But that's it, man. That's all I took from it. I'm gonna rewatch it and try to get into it more because I was watching and kind of trying to do something else too. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for being a patron. I appreciate you being a family member. And again, membership has its perks. If you want to be like Brandon and join the Patreon, please do so. You see the link in the description below. And those are our camp notes from 7/28/23 and 7/29/23. So no, I ain't about to get cursed out. Chill out, Javon. We got this. Oh, again, before I get out of here.
Meet and greet.
No, I ain't worried about that. The meet and greet coming, but that ain't what I'm gonna say that too. But that ain't what we talk about that. Congratulations to you and yours. Y'all ain't been a good month yet. Y'all what?
Yeah,
2,
she right here
3 weeks.
just
3
hanging
weeks.
out.
3 weeks. Congratulations. Congratulations. I've been sending text message congratulations, but this is my voice congratulations to you guys. So congratulations. 3 weeks of marriage. Nuh-uh.
Hey,
Hey, congratulations.
thank you. Oh
You
shit.
welcome. Hey, we good. You saw good. You good. It's reversed. Hey, also not next, this Friday, out of fact, because today's Saturday, this Friday, roundup meet and greet. Bus Boys and Poets. I'll be there. Brandon will be there. The other 5 will be there. So make sure you're there. If you don't, you can do not hashtag, exclamation point tickets. Link will come up, get your tickets, get your butt there. If you're not there, I got words for you. And then if you want to get the scalping tickets, you got to see Mikey, and you don't want to see Mikey.
They
You
got
don't want to get
scalped.
the scalping tickets from Mikey. Mikey's gonna be outside. Chicken.
Oh, never mind.
He gonna tax you. He gonna tax you. So again, I appreciate you guys, and again, congratulations, Brandon. Thank you for coming on and being our basically our correspondents for today. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And again, make sure you find his channel. Make sure you find Big Reg's channel, and they kind of do a lot of collaborations. So and they're starting out. So I appreciate if you go get them guys a follow. And I'll put the link in the description as soon as we finish this to both of their channels, so you can kind of get a feel for what they're doing, because it's not all football. It's about life too. I'm all football because all is life. But they not. But leave y'all with that. And I appreciate everybody for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. Peace, y'all.
Peace.